Welcome back to this fine series of educational programming. Yeah, right. Who am I kidding? Anyway, today we're going to get into the long-range whoop a little bit deeper. We're going to take a look under the hood, and I think afterwards we're going to do a little bit of flying. All right, let's just get the 2 screws out to get the canopy off. There's a lot of stuff in there. It might be kind of hard to see, but that's okay. Now you can kind of see how I have this thing assembled. Let's flip it over. We'll start at the bottom. What's nice about these frames from Beta FPV is they do actually have a built-in frame for a receiver. As you can see, my Crossfire Nano fits in here like perfectly. It's tucked in nice and tight. I don't think it's going to fall out at all based on the way I have it wedged in here. And that's just a great spot for it. As we follow around, we can see the antenna length is pretty perfect. To get ourselves to the end of the tiny little quad here, and then wrap the antenna around the ducts. I did my classic wrapping with the Scotch tape. Kind of just keeps the antenna nice, neat, easy, and clean. It's not permanent, and can easily be changed or modified if there's a problem with any of it. Getting into the good stuff, this is a Runcam Nano. I'm not a fan of this particular camera. I thought it would be a good idea because of its large lens. As I've said a million times in the past, a larger lens and a larger sensor is going to let more light in, therefore you are going to get a better picture. However, I'm kind of disappointed in the image in this camera. It's overexposed, it's blown out, the colors aren't great. I really, in this case, kind of wish I went with the FX900 camera, or maybe one of the new Caddx cameras. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm going to keep this on here for a while. I think eventually this thing may be going Cinewhoop. I definitely want to build a small, long-range, HD type flyer. So I don't know what's going to happen. This may stay the same. It might change. We'll see. For the camera mount, I did 3D print this camera mount. Just get it out of the way here. It is printed out of TPU, so it's rather flexible, as you can see. The original one I printed out of PLA, and that lasted like 3 seconds before it was like completely broke and the camera was flopping around. You might say, isn't there a little bit of wobble in there with the TPU? But actually the answer is no. When everything is screwed down appropriately, you kind of get this triangulation, and it holds the camera in place really well. And I think the little bit of rubber kind of helps with vibration in the camera. I don't know. I haven't had a problem with it, so that's how it is. You can see there's quite a bit of wires in here. We've got a handful of wires coming off the camera. I kind of wrap down and under here. Here's all the connections for the camera, VTX, the video. Right here, we have the Cricket Nano VTX. This thing is 200 milliwatts. Along the lines of things that I wish I did differently, I wish that I just got the Beta 75X to begin with, and then I changed the camera on it. That would have been a lot more cost effective as opposed to buying everything a la carte, like how I did it. But I didn't know that the larger and new Beta FPV brushless quads come with a 200 milliwatt transmitter. That was a big thing for me. I thought they were 25. That's why I put the Cricket in here. Live and learn, I guess. So if I was going to do it differently, I probably wouldn't go with this video transmitter. But I do have to say that it works phenomenal. I am very happy with its performance. Underneath that, we have the flight controller. And then, of course, underneath that is the separate all-in-one ESC. And if we just divert our attention to the back end here, hopefully you guys can see that I have my video antenna directly soldered to the VTX, holding it in place with a piece of heat shrink with my classic mullet mod. This actually works really good to hold all this together, especially when the canopy is down. See, if I hold it in place like this, you can see how the whole thing kind of gets sandwiched, and it really holds it very well. I'm happy with that. It doesn't go anywhere. And just a zip tie to kind of just hold my pigtail. I knew this antenna was going to be a little long, but that's okay. I wanted to be able to flip it up a little bit to try to maximize the range. And that's really about it. It's pretty standard. There we go. She's all back together. So there's a little bit of a peek underneath the hood and how things went together. But I've got a spot in mind, and now I think it's time to go do some flying. So I'll meet you there.